Welcome to Soar to Your Highest. This is Cheryl Paige. Hey everyone, I'm Cheryl Paige and welcome to this week's Soar to Your Highest. Today we're going to talk about trusting ourselves. The reality is that we need to begin to trust ourselves and trust those gut instincts that we get. Too often we spend time questioning, right? So say you walk into a room and you get this feeling like something's off, but you can't explain why. So you push that feeling away. Don't push those feelings away. Let's today make the commitment that we're going to begin to listen to ourselves, to listen to those little red flags that pop up, to listen to those gut instincts that we have, to listen to the little hair that stands up on the back of our necks. Too often we're not listening. We're ignoring, we're justifying, we're pushing those instincts away. That's our inner voice. That's what's speaking to us, and that's what's giving us guidance in our lives. And if we don't hone into it, and if we keep shutting it down and silencing it, then we aren't living from our greatest selves. We're living from a place where we're living from a place where we're pushing aside our inner wisdom. So I challenge you this week to take some time and ask yourself, what am I pushing aside? What have I been ignoring? Where have I been silencing myself? Because this happens in all of our lives. We do this in many different areas of our lives. We do this when we walk up to the elevator and the door opens and there's somebody inside and we just get that feeling. But we don't want to hurt their feelings. So we walk inside and we put ourselves, not necessarily we put ourselves in danger, but we go against our inner guidance. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to explain it. We just need to follow it. When you're struggling, when we have these situations in our lives and we're wondering, what should I do? I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I should do. We're asking our friends, we're asking our parents, we're asking our coworkers. Take the time and ask yourself, what should I do in this situation? Take the time to get quiet and go in to yourself and ask yourself, because the answers to those questions lie within you. And you just need to start to believe that you have the answers. And when you hear those answers, then listen. Don't ignore. I was at this event that Oprah put on a couple of years ago, and I loved the way that she explained what happens in our lives when we ignore those red flags, when we ignore those gut instincts, when we ignore and we silence what our intuition is telling us. She says, first, it'll be like a pebble upside the head. Right? It'll be like, hey, here's a little red flag. Hey, here's that little nagging feeling. And if we ignore it, then we'll get a bigger sign. Then we'll get a rock thrown at us. And if we continue to ignore, then we're going to hit a brick wall. And we're going to hit crisis in our lives until we begin to pay attention to all of these signs, to all these red flags, to all of these gut instincts, to all of this intuition that we keep ignoring, that we keep silencing. It doesn't go away. It just gets louder and louder and louder. Our inner voice, our inner guidance doesn't ever go away. If we ignore it, if we silence it, it will just get louder. It will just make more noise. That might look like a crisis in your life. That might look like becoming sick. It might look like dealing with some anxiety, with panic attacks, with however it manifests in your life. For me, it's physical symptoms. My stomach. I start having trouble sleeping when I'm not listening to myself. So this week, I challenge you. Let's start to trust in ourselves. Trust in the wisdom that we have within us and begin to ask ourselves, okay, what is it that I have been ignoring? What have I been pushing away? What red flags are popping up that I'm silencing in my life? And then why am I silencing them? What happens if maybe I take the time to believe that what I'm feeling is right, to trust myself, what happens then? Start asking yourself that. And begin to trust yourself again, okay? Because our intuition, our gut instincts, that's how we speak to ourselves. And we know what we need in our lives, and we know when things are off, and it's really our job to begin to listen and to begin to trust. And if it's gotten to a point where we've shut it down so much, where I was in my life a few years ago, I had shut down that inner wisdom of myself so much that I could not even hear it. So it's like starting from scratch. And it's getting in touch with our inner voice again. And then once we do that, once we get in touch, then to listen. So I hope that this will be something, and this is why, every week I say, connect authentically, love unconditionally, and trust fully. The trust fully is all about trusting yourself, not trusting other people in the world. Of course, we want that trust too, but particularly for the 3 things that I talk about, it's for trusting yourself, because that is where your greatest wisdom is. So until I see you next week, connect authentically, love unconditionally, and trust fully. Hey everyone, it's Cheryl. I hope you liked this episode, and if you did, be sure to subscribe to the next one and tell a friend about us. If you want more tips and guidance, be sure to visit our website at cherylpaige.ca and enter your name and email to get on our email list. Until next time, keep soaring to your highest, connect authentically, love unconditionally, and trust fully.